All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is the BS Machine, and what an exciting episode this is going to be. I've been hanging to get this dude on for such a long time, and it's what are we at? We're at episode number 93, and on this episode, as many of you know, many of my listeners know that I love doing breathing. I love doing cold showers and ice baths and all that type of stuff, and it's definitely part of my world, but the guy that actually introduced me to all this stuff 5 or 6 years ago, a guy called Lars Nilsson, and he's such a machine of a man. He's like a proper... All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 93 of the BS Machine. I'm your host, Tommy Kendi, and have I got a treat for you on this episode of the BS Machine. As many of you know, many of my listeners know, I love cold water, anything. You know, I do ice baths, cold water, jump in the ocean, all that type of shit. And one of the guys that introduced me to this a number of years ago was a guy called Lars Nilsson. And it is such an honor to get Lars on the podcast because he's been such an inspiration to me and to so many of the people I know, not just in Melbourne, but just in this whole community of health and wealth and whatnot. So, and he's like a full out fucking warrior, and it's such an honor to get Lars on because he is the master of all this stuff, and I'm really excited to dive into the benefits of all that we do and why we do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Lars Nilsson from Lars Ice Bath International. Welcome, mate. How are you?
Hey Tommy, how you doing, man?
I'm feeling good, brother. It's such an honor to get you on, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm really look forward to this all week, man.
Good, good. So, Lars, I mean, first off, I mean, just how did you actually get into all this stuff? Give us a little bit of a background. I mean, you're no young spring chicken anymore, but you've got the energy of a bloody 20-year-old, bro. So it's just unbelievable. You're such
Come on,
an
man.
inspiration, and
Right.
I love being around your energy. So how did you get into this?
So I think
What
you know what, man. It started a long time back. Even when my dad was into this a lot. We lived north of Sweden. He was we got a bit of Viking blood, So he opened the back door and kicked me and my twin brother out in the diapers and left us there for 5 minutes. We ran around, and I think that's where it all started. And we realized we were never sick, man. And then we learned with the sauna, drill a hole in the ice and jump in. So yeah, it all comes from there. Follow me all my life. I always had my cold showers. Certain parts of the world was hard to get it because there's no cold water.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so have you got actually Viking blood in you?
I got a bit of Viking blood back. Yes, I have. So it's there, and I don't know if they're as strong as my ancestors, but it's a bit there, I would say. Yes.
Man, well, you look like a Viking.
Mm, my hair looks a bit too good for that, I think.
I love it, man. And so Lars, so you've been doing this sort of stuff all your life, and it's just come natural to you. And I guess it's funny, isn't it, that over the last 5, 6 years, it's suddenly become like cool to jump in ice baths and to jump in the ocean in the middle of winter and do cold showers. It's like the new cool thing. But even before it was cool, I remember, like even now, people, you say to people, oh, I have a cold shower every morning. They're like, why would you do that? Why? Like, it's just dumb. Why would you just have a cold
Exactly.
shower or a hot
Exactly.
shower? So why
Exactly.
why do we do it?
I just, start with breathing. To breathe, we just breathe through the windpipe. We don't get any oxygen in us. We can't mix the nutrition properly. So with the oxygen, when you start breathe properly, you start to rejuvenate your cells. You rejuvenate your organs. Everything is just start, I believe, to repair. And that combined with cold immersion, that can just improve so many things, like mental health, your hormones coming right, you boost immunity. I can just go on and on about it. And as you said, yeah, in the early days, people thought you were a bit funny and what's going on. You just run around, you barefoot outside, and they think you're a bit crazy, right? But now, you see, and I always said that it's gonna come, and now everybody think it's great. Yeah, now it's, and I asked, the best thing with it costs no money. You just got to know what to do. So the poor man can do it, the rich man can do it, everybody can do it. You just got to know how to do it.
How to do it, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, us talking about the breath, even this idea of controlled breathing and the breath work that you do, it's unbelievable. I've done so many breath work sessions with you, and it's, to be honest, for me, it's actually different when I do it with you, because the way that you lead it and the way that you guide the breathing, it creates this whole other life in the body, and you feel fucking alive, like off the skin. There's buzzing going on. So, what's with this breath work that you do? Is that something you learned? Is that something that you also already did, or what? How does the breath work sort of come into it?
I think I don't really have a routine or a schedule. I do it when I get a group in and I look at them and I maybe get something automatically happen. This I'm gonna do it, and sometimes it's just happening. But I just try to get people to understand. Just breathe, just normal breathing, nose, mouth, whatever. So long you get oxygen in, and that's it. And then you can you create certain breathing patterns. That's why you feel so great, in the end of it and all that. So yeah, for me anyway, I've studied a bit and I learn a bit. I've been with Wim Hof, and which is a great man who put all this on the map for us all to do this kind of stuff. Yeah, and then from that, I used a bit there, I used a bit there, and just you got to be creative, and you got to understand the way how people react in front of you when you do breathing with them.
And so, with the breath, what's the actual, what's the science behind it when you take big deep breaths and you're moving the body, and what actually happens within the body? We don't have to go too much into it.
No, not too much with the science and that, but you have the perfect system. You got all these different systems in it, but you actually, the bottom line is you are filling up yourself and your cells with oxygen, and you oxygenate your blood, which is great for all these diseases we have. To just that, especially with that COVID, I had a lot of people coming in after with big problems, and just with the breathing and the cold immersion, they could have got rid with that lung infection they had already after 1-2 times. So I think it's we don't have to go too deep at it, but let's breathe, guys. Let's breathe.
Just breathe, yeah.
Just
And
breathe,
so because there's people listening that would have toyed with the idea of doing breath work and doing cold water therapy, but let's just stay on the breath for now, because the breath work, it's so interesting because it's fucking free, and all you have to do is set aside maybe 10 or 15 minutes a day.
Yes.
And that's it. You just breathe deeply, and people go, well, I don't know how to do it because I'm not. What are you talking about? You don't know how to do it. Just fucking breathe. But in terms of the breath work, I mean, is there's a certain process. There's a structure to it, correct?
Yeah. And it's also, I think I found with people who have a lot of anxiety and depression and all that, I think it's just also when you breathe, your hormones, when they are out of balance, but when you get into this breathing and you practice it, I think that will reset a lot of things. Like I have people who they're on the meds for anxiety and depression, and after 3 weeks of practice, 4 weeks, they're basically off it again, and they feel like normal people. So what does it tell you? It's just an imbalance. That's it.
Yeah.
And it is, as you said, 10, 15 minutes, Start with a beer in the morning so you get your body filled up, and a cold shower, go to work. Midday, you go down a bit, you take 50, 60 breaths, and you go through the day. And then that's it. You go to bed and you start the next day again. You have to look after that to feel good. And even with recovery, all that. Do a for example, a power breathing for 4 or 5 minutes before you work out, and you will see. And then have a cold shower after, and then you see how your recovery is better. You know.
And what do you mean by power breathing? What do you mean by that?
Well, power breathing is just you breathe through your second brain, the belly. Just sort of like that, and that is just gives you a bit of a rush. You get a bit of lightheaded, but it really gets the blood oxygenated very quickly, and you can feel that. And people, for example, who run marathon, they do this breathing. I teach them, and then after they go out running, just get into the right breathing rhythm. They say it's like a steam train. They just keep moving and keep moving. And they're already alkaline and oxygenate the blood. So of course something's going to go good for them, right?
And so when the blood and the body's alkaline, then is it the case that when you've got good level of alkalinity in the body, then disease can't get in, or is it more so that it just gets rid of disease, or how does it sort of work there?
I think it's preventing from things, and prevent you from in your immune system. When you do this combine, you probably never have a cold again. I get mom and dad in, and then I say, why don't we take the kids too at the same time, take them in the cold shower? So I got families out there now who used to have colds 3 times a year. None of them are sick anymore. Kids goes to school. They're like little Vikings, man. They come in and they ask, hey, this is okay. Now they don't come home with all this stuff. So and kids love cold. They love it. And mom stopped to put clothes on them and send them out in the T-shirt. Let them run around in the rain. Yeah, I know you don't like it, but it's true, okay?
Yeah. And so do you reckon mindset is a big factor around it? Because I think when people go, oh, don't go out in the cold because you'll get a cold. And so your brain actually goes, oh, I guess if I go in the cold, then I'm going to get bloody sick. I'm going to get the flu. I'm going to get whatever else. Is mindset a big factor, do you reckon?
Mind over matter. That's all it is. Yeah. Of course it is. Nobody wants to go in my ice bath. Why are I going to go in there? Hey, come on. And then you explain a few things. And they go, oh, maybe a try. And that's it. The same when you go outside. We have that. We have so much comfort in these days. We don't even have it hard anymore. You got to make it hard before it gets better. And that will strengthen you up and make the body strong. Same with the kids. Same with everybody. Just get them out, get them off the iPads and that, send them out in the bush, whatever. We have so much comfort, and the body's getting weak. We got to get that strength back for people, for everybody.
Yeah. And so can you give me some examples, or maybe even just one example of people that you've worked with that have been totally messed up in the head and even their body, they've just been in pain, and because you do massage and stuff as well.
Yeah.
I know, but can you give us a little, just an example of someone, obviously you don't have to mention names or anything like that, but someone that you've worked with that has totally transformed from breath, ice bathing or cold water therapy?
Yeah, it's like I had some people out there we know of, and I had normal people too, and we all have this that called ADD. What is it called again?
Oh, ADHD.
Hey, we all got that. We all got that, and nobody says, "No, I haven't got that." But some people have more than others. Some people have less, and I had a lot of that. And to get them on a structure to do this, what I do every day, the things has come amazing. It's absolutely amazing what it does to them and how they can control it. They have these personalities, they want everything, but just the calmness And then they practice that, have got them back to actually live a bit normal again. Because it's like those things, it's difficult, very difficult. Even if these people, I got a lot of very successful, but they can't stop. So you got to just get them to stop sometimes. Come down and just do, breathe, and breathe even when you not work, because we go back to that breathing. But we got to just that. We will see. And I think that's all I can say about it. And then with my massages and all that, I combine massage, and then we have infrared, and then we have ice after that, and that kind of thing. So I'm playing with so many things, and we all look the same. It's not look the same, but we have the same amount of bones and whatever in the body, but we are so different. So each one has different what is in it. Some people just need fire and ice in the infrared, and short ice after, and a little bit of breathing before, tons of it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I go, yeah.
Man, yeah. So on that, you as a person that overseas, because I mean, look, guys, if you're in Melbourne, Lars has a whole kit and caboodle. He's got a shop in Albert Park called Lars Ice Bath International.
Middle Park.
Huh? Middle Park in Lars Ice Lars Ice International. No, Lars Ice Bath. Yeah, Lars Ice Bath International. And when you go into this place, it just opens you up to a whole new dynamic. And I guess if you live in Melbourne, you're lucky enough to actually go hang with Lars and experience him. But man, you know, this whole thing around the fear of jumping into a cold water or doing cold water therapy, or the fear of even breathing. And I think just from what I've seen in my world, it's like I've seen people where I've, like, let's say in yoga classes, or even people that I work with one-on-one, and I work with them in breath, and they can't even go, they can't even take a fucking one big breath. And I'm like, just open yourself up and breathe, you know? And so what's the advice you'd have for people that actually need help to actually get started?
Tommy, sorry, it disappeared a bit. Can you say that last sentence again, please?
Oh no, I was just going to say, what's the advice you've got for people who just want to actually just get started, just get going into this whole world of breathing cold water stuff?
I think like this, a very good thing to do is just when you wake up in the morning, don't look at your phone the first thing you do. Just have it set with a little app, and I'll be happy to supply that, a little app where you can do about 15 minutes breathing. And it's mostly long breaths and slow breaths. So you get into a rhythm like that. And only after 15 minutes, you will feel the difference. You will feel tinglings, you feel that actually your blood is moving. And then after that, of course, you don't want to go in a cold shower. So why don't you start with a warm little shower, and then you turn it on to cold, and you last for 20 seconds and breathe slowly in and out. And every day increase about 20 seconds, up to 3 minutes. That could be your morning routine till you are in on it. And I guarantee you, you will feel absolutely different. And then just remember, when you start to feel, and keep hydrated, of course. And then when during the day you can feel that you're going down, sit down, take a little time out, 5 minutes, and do long, slow breaths, maybe 50 to 100. And then drink a half a liter of water, and you will feel that. You will feel it. It costs no money. It's just the best way, I think, to start. And then if you want to do a bit more advanced, you can contact me or someone else who does these things, and I will teach you maybe the different way for the next level, how we can do it. And then, and you know, you've seen it over the last 10 years. the
Yeah.
changes. The bay is full of people now in the morning. You got groups, they lay and breathe everywhere. And it's like, I just go down and sit there and I go, I knew it. It's going to happen. I've done it all my life. It's going to happen. And
Yeah.
my big kick was Wim when I followed him in the 90s, when he was out there by himself and nobody believed him. And he was a lonely soul out there. And then eventually they took him in, they checked him out. Hey, this is science. This is
Yeah.
new shit. This is stuff we're going to do. And then, of course, he put it on the map and all that. And then, oh, it's lovely. This is what I want to work with for the rest of my life, because I want everybody to have a little ice bath in the basement in the end of it. So
Yeah.
let's go, Tommy.
Let's go, baby. Love it, man. Hey, you know what? Can you take me through like maybe just a 4 or 5 minute breathing thing, just so if people listen, they can maybe do this at home. Obviously, if you're not in your car or whatever, but if you're just maybe just
in the car, Tommy. That's dangerous.
no,
Good
I
point.
know, not in
And
the
not
car,
in the water.
not in the water.
That might be the
Exactly.
engine that's getting you
So
there.
if obviously if you're at home, why don't you just follow along and we'll do like a 4 or 5 minute just a little breathing exercise and I think
Be happy.
yeah, it'll be cool, man. It'll be just for people at home, and we'll see, so if you've got obviously if you're driving or whatever, just listen through this bit or fast forward until you get home or listen back.
Stop the car.
Well, there you go. Stop the car. There you go.
Take your seat back. Lay back. Everybody who is on with me now. Just sit back. If you want to sit or if you want to lay, that's fine. Close your eyes up. And all we're going to do is put a hand on the stomach, because we got to breathe in through the stomach. And you take a big breath like this. And we just let it go. We don't force out. Pull in and letting go. So you flow with it. And letting go. Pull in and let it out straight away, but no force. Pull in and letting go. Pull in and letting go. Pull in and letting go. In through your mouth and out through your mouth. Pull in through your mouth and letting go. 2 more of them. Pull in and letting go. And letting go. And now we breathe in through the nose on the next inhale. Inhale. And out through your mouth. Pull in. And feel how you now start to relax the body. You're getting into the rhythm. Keep breathing when I'm talking and let it go. Pull in. And letting go. Pull in. And letting go. Pull in. And letting go. Now start to feel in the fingers. Keep breathing when I'm talking. How you feel to start to tingle a little bit. You be a bit lightheaded, that's okay. If you can release it without any force, then we feel not that lightheaded. So pull in through your stomach and letting go. Pull in and letting go. Pull in and letting go. 2 more of them. And letting go. And 1 more of them. Letting go. And stop breathing. Just hold your breath. When you get thoughts coming up to your head, just let them pass. Just focus on your forehead from the inside. Still. You have now oxygenate some of your blood, and you can feel it, how it starts to move, and you're on the way to alkaline your body. Sometimes we're going to do this little power breathing for half a minute so you can feel how you come back to life again. So full inhale. So, and now power breathe short. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull in. Hold it in. And when we breathe out, we're going to say, let it go. Let it go. Breathe out.
Let it go. Let it go.
And slowly back to normal breathing. And open your eyes. Hello, Tommy.
Wow.
Wow.
Just that in itself,
Just
whole body buzzing. Man, that's like it is. It's, I mean, most of us have tried all the goodies, cocaine, all that type of shit. Man, it's the natural. It's so good. It's just, you're buzzing. You can actually feel your blood running through the veins.
That's
And
right.
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
A little
Your
start like that. A little start every morning. That's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. And just that in itself, even if you did 5 minutes of that every morning, and then now this would be the time where you would go and jump into a cold shower, or into an ice bath,
ocean,
or ocean, whatever it is. And there's this real dynamic when you go into a cold shower. Well, if you start the shower cold, I find it doesn't get easier when you turn that cold shower on in the morning and you look at it and you're like, fuck you, man. Like this, this is just, but as soon as you jump in, immediately life hits you. Prana, forces of life, nature. It fucking gets you,
And that it's just that important to breathe slowly when you're in there, because you're going to control it for a couple of minutes. It never gets easy that first time. It's always. And also, and I want to say one thing, when we did the power breathing, let's be a little bit careful so you not do too long. Rather lay down on the first sort of few times when you learn how to do it, and never stand up straight up, because you can fall down and hurt yourself. So be careful with that. But gently, the first time when people do breathing, they feel high as kites and rockets, but they don't think that's going to last forever, because your body starts to heal up. So that's a good thing. So sorry, you can't be off your face every time, all right?
Yeah, man. It's unbelievable. It's so good, and it does, like, if you, it's not about going for that high each time. It's more just about oxygenating the body.
Right.
But I mean, look, I haven't got over the highs of cold water therapy yet. That every time. And you know what? One question I do have, Lars, is a few people ask me with the cold water stuff is that when you're, let's say you've got, whether it's COVID or you got the flu or you got a cold or whatever, should you do breathing in cold water when you're sick?
Good question, Tommy. What I suggest, everybody who is even not like it, but when you feel the flu coming on, the sore throat, before it, just when you feel it, you go in. If you have a shower, let's go in and then pound your throat with cold water for 3-5 minutes. If this is in the morning, I can nearly say it's gone in the afternoon. It's gone. It's gone. It's same. You can go in, and when you feel, even when you're sick, what I do, I don't get sick really, but if I feel something coming, I go straight in my ice bath and I sit up to here. And you don't have to sit long, but just try because it kills all that inflammation. That's what it does in your lungs and the whole body basically. You're in an ice bath, the first hurts is usually hands and feet because mostly we're using that most of everything. They might disappear sometimes. I tell people this before they go in, and I found that's great because then they know, they don't have to freak out when they lost their hands, right? So, yeah, definitely do that because people just leave it and leave it. So be brave, go in and do it, even if you feel, a bit fevery, whatever. It just starts to heal you up.
Well,
Thanks for
obviously
asking that.
the cold water brings down fever, correct?
Yeah, inflammation and
Yeah,
fever, it takes the inflammation. When you
yeah,
have pain, you have inflammation. If you get rid of that, you don't have any pain.
yeah, yeah,
Simple.
yeah, yeah. Man, that is unbelievable. And so with you, Lars, you've gone as far. You've built this a whole business around your name and what you believe in and what you love. And so if you are in Melbourne, if any, and I've got a lot of listeners in Melbourne, if you want to give yourself a real gift, go see Lars in Middle Park at Lars Ice Bath International. And also, what's your Instagram handle and all that?
So the best thing now, after so many years, guess what? I got a booking page.
Yeah,
You can
baby.
book. Boom. I don't have to take calls anymore and all that. I'm so happy.
Love it.
Anyway, we
I'll put
got
all the notes in the podcast notes anyway.
awesome. So just go on Last Ice Puff International and there's a bio link tree in there. You just push that and you get all the options up. Put yourself in on a date, and then you pay, and then you come, and then we are here.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like the only thing maybe you need for me when you're coming with ice bath, a couple of introductory, say fire and ice, which is steam, fry and ice. Then you can come here and you can just come in. I got nice tea, I got stuff afterwards. And then you can come in and help yourself. You got an hour, you got to get out in that hour. And then I will still be someone here looking after you when you have your ice and that.
yeah.
So, and we're working maybe towards to do membership later also. We just want
Yeah.
to see how the turnout is. So please go in and check it out. I look forward to see you all there, but not at the same time. It'd be
Love
great.
it, love it, man. It's so good. And so what? So what have you got? What have you got there? You've got a sauna.
So we do breathing session with classes at the moment Wednesdays and Fridays,
Yeah,
and that's usually you can see the updates what's coming on my Instagram
yeah,
in the little story, and then I have massages, and then we have infrared sauna, and we have ice baths, and I'm not going to tell more, but we're working on some other stuff maybe
yeah.
too. But as I say, get the updates on my Instagram right now, and then you can see what we got.
Dude,
So yeah, we have my lady Kate here. She be here if I'm not here. She's gonna look after it here. She's lovely and very friendly, and we all love to see you here.
yeah.
Be fantastic.
That's
Be
awesome, man.
fantastic. Fantastic.
There's a book I'm reading on at the moment,
Yeah.
which is all about knowing your why. It's about knowing why you do the things that you do. And one of the things that I've loved about you, knowing you the last whatever 7 or 8 years, maybe even longer, is that you've always, every time I see you, Lars, that you just inspire me. And it's the reason is because you know your why. You know that what you're passionate about. And you want to bring it to the people. And I just want to acknowledge you for sticking with your guns and really offering your passion up to the world. Like, I think it's just so epic what you're doing, man.
Thanks, Tommy. So it's been amazing to meet you, man, and you always looked after me. So thank you for saying that. Thank you
Of
so
course,
much.
of course. And so yeah, guys, go visit Lars. His hugs are amazing as well. And by the way, if you haven't had a massage from Lars, my lord, what a experience that is. Holy shit. So you're lucky if you're in Melbourne because you get to go see Lars Ice Bath International. Dude, thank you so much for coming on the BS Machine. Such a honor to have you on, and thank you for everything that you're doing, brother. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Tommy. It's been great. Thank you for
Love,
having me. Peace.
yeah, baby. Love you, man. Cold water therapy, the benefits of breathing, and just how to be an epic human. So, Lars, where did you go?
Coming, I'm here. Just 1 second, okay, Brett?
Oh, all right, we'll start
There you
again.
go. We're coming back. Oh, you don't have to start again.
No, I'll start again, dude. You can't just walk off.
So
You can't.
fucked up, man.
What's wrong?
There was somebody on the fucking door, man. We're gonna come in. I'll lock it now so we're good. All right, buddy?
Oh, okay, cool.
So sorry, man.
No, it's all right.
Done. Sorry. Okay. Do you have to say all that again?
Yeah, that's all right. I want it to flow, man. I want it to fucking flow. We good?
Good.
All right.
We're good.
All right, cool.